Hello and welcome back to Scout Report. And with the World Cup underway, we're going to be looking at 5 underdog managers who could surprise us at this year's World Cup. 5. Roberto Martinez. We start with former Wigan and Everton boss Roberto Martinez, who took charge of the Belgium national team in 2016. He built his reputation with Wigan, winning the FA Cup in 2013. However, his big break at Everton didn't go quite as planned. He was sacked in just his 3rd season at the club and had a win percentage of 38%. And for a manager who promised Champions League football to the Toffees, this is extremely poor. This left the Belgian fans sceptical when the Spaniard was appointed manager. Despite a ridiculous wealth of talent available to Belgium, they're yet to string a successful international campaign together. With a disappointing exit to the 2014 World Cup, there is additional pressure as it seems as if their golden generation is coming to an end, with an average age of 27. With the likes of De Bruyne, Lukaku and Eden Hazard, Martinez has the task of producing great results with the best Belgium national side to date. The 44-year-old began his tenure with 4 straight wins against weaker opposition, including Cyprus and Estonia. However, they've impressively scored 21 goals in those games and conceded just 1. They ended their qualifying campaign with just 1 draw, 9 wins and 0 losses, becoming the first European team to qualify for the World Cup. They scored a whopping 43 goals in the process. And in a group with England as their hardest opponents, who they've only beaten twice in 15 attempts, this super talented side could top the group. The Belgians' only ever national title was a gold medal in the 1920 Antwerp Olympics, and with just 12 wins in 12 World Cups, Martinez has the pressure of producing the best World Cup campaign in Belgian history. 4. Hector Cooper. Although they were the first ever African nation to qualify for the World Cup since its inception, this summer would see the Egyptians return to the grand stage after a 27-year absence. And that is all down to Hector Cooper and, of course, Mohamed Salah. For his nation, the on-form frontman scored 5 goals in qualifiers, the most for a player in CAF. In 2017, Cooper led the side to their first African Cup of Nations final in 7 years. Even though they lost, the Egyptian FA backed the 62-year-old ahead of their World Cup qualifying campaign, displaying how much confidence they have in him. Cooper has been a revelation for the Pharaohs, leading them to the summer tournament in style, winning 4 of his 6 games and conceding only 4 goals. While being manager, they have never lost a match by more than 1 goal. He's also kept 17 clean sheets in 30 matches, which means he's keeping 3 clean sheets every 5 games. Of course, it would be easy to praise the Egyptian King Salah for his tremendous season, but Cooper has been able to get the best out of his players, including Mohamed El Neni, Sobhi and West Brom's Hegazi. With an average age of 28, the Argentine has a collection of experienced and hungry players who are willing to make history. Cooper has really installed hope into a once depleted team. He now has the best win record of any long-term manager in Egypt's history with 63%. Defensively, he's hit the jackpot with 0.49 goals conceded per game. And with Salah on fire, Egyptian fans can be very optimistic that their side can go far in this summer's tournament. 3. Jan Andersson. Sweden have always had a rough time in World Cup qualifiers, failing to qualify in the last 2 tournaments. Going into the 2018 qualifiers, things did not look bright, as they had lost their all-time top goalscorer Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who won Swedish Footballer of the Year for a record 11 times, and their group including former competition winners France and the Netherlands. Andersson, however, was able to rally the team together and get some impressive wins under his belt, including a shock 2-1 win against group favourites France, and they obliterated Luxembourg 8-0. Sweden averaged an impressive 2.5 goals per game, while France only averaged 1.9. They also only conceded 0.8 goals a game, which ultimately got them their playoff place, ahead of the Netherlands, who lost out because of their goal difference. The 55-year-old's biggest challenge awaited him as they face up against Italy in the playoffs. The Italians had a star-studded team with the likes of Verratti, Belotti and Buffon, who was also fighting for his last World Cup appearance. Andersson's men did not crumble under pressure and put a defensive masterclass on, winning 1-0 over 2 legs, and impressively finished qualifications with 7 clean sheets, 5 more than the Netherlands and 1 more than Italy. In the campaign, they had 135 attempts on goal, the lowest in the qualifiers. However, this indicates their efficiency in front of the net. Although critics doubted Andersson due to his lack of experience managing at the top level, he is slowly proving them wrong. He even had the option of bringing Swedish legend Ibrahimovic out of retirement, but he declined. displaying his confidence in Marcus Berg, who scored 8 goals in 12 games in qualifiers. With a group including current holders Germany, Mexico and South Korea, 2 teams of which Sweden have a greater win ratio than, he will be hoping his team can successfully progress through the group stages. 2. Gernot Rohr. As it stands, Nigeria are the bookies' favourite to reach the latter stages of the summer tournament out of all the African nations, and that is all down to Gernot Rohr. The German manager took charge in the summer of 2016 and since then has restored hope into the Super Eagles. During qualifiers they went unbeaten, winning 4 games, drawing 2 and losing 0. A now rejuvenated side thanks to the 64-year-old's magic, the Super Eagles are looking better than ever. They were the first African team to qualify for this summer's tournament, and not only have they scored more goals than every African nation with 12, but they've also were defensively sound, conceding 0.5 goals a game. They also impressively beat 2014 World Cup finalists Argentina in a thrilling 4-2 comeback in a friendly. A good sign for Rohr as they are also in their group for the tournament. Before Nigeria, Rohr had an inconsistent managerial career, being sacked twice in his last 3 roles. However, with the nation, he seems to have found his feet, having a win percentage of 64%. With an average age of 25, the Super Eagles have an exciting young side who look ambitious to make history at this year's World Cup. Nigeria's front line have also been on fire, with Moses Iwobi and Iheanacho contributing to 7 of the 11 goals they have scored during qualifiers. And with them hitting a combined 9 goals in 96 appearances for their respective clubs, it is clear the German has found a way to get the best out of the forwards. 1. Gareth Southgate. Since the World Cup winning side of 1966, England have failed to live up to all their expectations in the competition, failing to make the final since that triumph. In 2018, those expectations simply do not exist anymore, and we think Gareth Southgate is the perfect man to capitalise on the lack of faith shown by the Three Lions faithful. Although he has minimal managerial experience at the top level, only managing Middlesbrough where he had a measly 30% win percentage and the England under-21 side before being called up to the senior side, he is very familiar with the England setup and was surprisingly quite successful. He had an impressive 81% win percentage with the Young Lions and helped develop some of their brightest stars, including Marcus Rashford and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. The 47-year-old is a big advocate for bringing through young talent and was rewarded for trusting in the Three Lions as they went unbeaten in qualifiers, winning 8 of their 10 games and only conceding 3 goals. They have an average age of 26. The team is energetic and enthusiastic and have an average of 33 recoveries per game during qualifiers. With the world-class talents of Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane, the England squad are currently averaging 1.8 goals per game. Defensively, they're looking even better, with Kyle Walker, John Stones and Harry Maguire looking like the back 3 for this summer's tournament. They've only conceded 0.3 goals a game. The back line alone is worth more than £150 million, as it includes the Man City duo Walker and Stones, who cost £50 million each, meaning it's the most expensive England back line ever. With the likes of Sterling, Vardy and Kane, who also scored 5 goals during qualifiers, having such terrific seasons for their respective clubs, Southgate is spoilt for choice when he looks at his attacking options. Collectively, they have been on target 60 times this season, and if they can reach this form for England, they will have no trouble in the summer scoring. While this team is not quite the golden era that crashed out of the 2002 World Cup, due to the fact they have no expectations this tournament and are so hungry to prove their doubters wrong, Southgate may conjure up a result that could shock the nation. Fingers crossed. Believe. So those were our 5 underdog managers at this year's World Cup. Make sure you check out more Football Daily content. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.